What's going on, fight fans? It's Christian the Artist coming with another video. I know it's been a minute. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. But let's get right into it. I'm talking about UFC 239, which is Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos, and Amanda Nunes defending her title against Holm. I'm going to start with the Amanda Nunes-Holm fight first because, quick disclaimer, I'm finding it more and more difficult to see clips of old fights on YouTube. So I really wasn't able to see the fights that I wanted to see to analyze those specifically and pick out certain tendencies. I like to watch fights with previous fights with opponents that are similar to the one that they're going to be fighting, that have sort of similar styles that then I could break down and take away. So in that fight, it's going to be a little more brief. We all know, how great Amanda Nunes is. We know she's got dynamic power, and she's been on a tear, quite frankly. And Holm, we know her boxing pedigree, top notch. Her movement, her footwork, very good. So the short answer, in my opinion, is I can see Amanda Nunes winning this fight by decision. This is no disrespect to Holm, but I'm just not sure if she has another upset left in her. She is 37. She's coming off one win, and the prior fight was a loss. I like Holm. I think she has a lot of great skills. She would definitely have to use her in and out movement and sort of try to take the approach of Valentina Shevchenko, what she did with Amanda Nunes, and just sort of dart in and out, use your movement, use your angles. I'm not sure if she would be able to knock out Nunes. And also the question regarding Nunes' conditioning, I think, has been answered, at least for me, in previous fights. So I don't think it's a situation of, let me just tire her out and then get her in the later rounds. I just think Nunes, I think her power is just going to be enough to disrupt what Holm tries to do when she does attack and engage. And I could just see Nunes winning this fight by decision. So now let's fast forward. Let's go to the main event, Jon Jones and Thiago Santos. And we all know who Jon Jones is, what he's done, and the skills that he has. So I'm going to kind of go right to the opponent. And guys, to be honest with you, I was able to look at some videos of Thiago, and I have to tell you, I am actually impressed. A couple of things that impressed me. I just have a couple of things written down here. He's got power in both hands and legs. I've seen him buzz guys with his left hand, right hand, left kick, left knee, right knee. So he definitely has dynamic power. I've seen him do it with a variety of different strikes as well. He has good feints. I like some of the feints that he does, some of the checks. Oftentimes he'll do this switch check where he'll be fighting orthodox and then he'll sort of switch southpaw, but he does it in a way where he checks his opponent, so he makes you think he's coming with an attack from the right side, but he's really just switching his stance. He actually has a very good sense of distance. And one of the things I noticed is he has a great way of keeping his opponents at the very end of his punches, so that when he lands, they're getting the full extension and they're getting all that power. And I've seen him do that, especially on his attacks. When he sort of bull rushes his opponents, he does it in a way where he just keeps them just at the end of those punches, where he's not choking himself. He's not hitting a guy with a bent arm. So I was very impressed by that. He actually has a jiu-jitsu pedigree. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's got a Muay Thai pedigree, Muay Thai black belt. And also he's physically strong. He really has all the tools that I would want in a guy to beat Jon Jones. So my keys to victory for Santos would be, when he's out of range, get out of dodge. So what I mean by that is, when he's faced off with Jon Jones, when he is out of his punching distance and Jon Jones attacks, don't try to counter. Too many people try to counter Jon Jones, and they end up standing in the pocket with him. And what I mean by that is, Jon Jones is able to hit them, and they're not able to hit him. And a lot of that is Jones's reach, right? So what I mean is, when Thiago is not in his striking range, meaning I can't hit John Jones, when John Jones attacks me, retreat. Don't try to meet him. Don't try to, pull on him and throw a strike. John's limbs are too long. He'll throw, and even if he misses, by the time you pull to get out of that shot, and then you try to throw, you're so far out of range, it's just a moot point. So when when you're out of that range, retreat. And then in order to get in range, Thiago has to bull rush. He that's part of his style. He comes in with a flurry of strikes. So when you're out of range and John attacks, get out of dodge. And then when you're here, you're still out of range. In order to get in range, come with those multiple attacks, multiple strikes, and finish with a kick. And what I would do personally is, kind of piggybacking on that point, finish, especially at the beginning of the fight, finish those combinations. When he does that bull rush, finish to the body. Finish to John Jones's body. So if you're going to throw 4 strikes to get in range, so you're out here, so then go. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're going to throw a 5th one, throw either a kick or 1, 2, 3. If you're going to do a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the body, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 to the body, however many you throw, make sure that last shot, I would direct it to Jones's body. The reason why I would do this is John Jones is many things, but he fights with a single mind. And it's great because of his physical attributes. John Jones is either on the attack, he's either on the offensive, or he's on the defensive. The one thing John Jones is not is a counter fighter. That's why I said, when Thiago throws his strikes, throw him, hit him with that bull rush, sort of like Lyoto Machida did when they fought. And Lyoto had some success early on, just blitzing John Jones, coming in fast, coming in with strikes, and I would just finish to the body. My keys for Jones would be mix your outside striking game very cautiously, because again, Thiago has that bull rush and he has that power. Mix the outside striking game, keeping him at range, front kicks, long jabs, those side kicks to the knee that he throws. Mix that in with clinch work. One of the things that I saw with Thiago Santos, his Achilles heel, is that he does not have an educated clinch game. And you could look at the Jimmy Manuwa fight for an example. If you could get close on Thiago and get him in a clinch, he doesn't wrap the arms, he doesn't look for wrists, so he leaves his opponent's arms free to separate, hit him with elbows, hit him with short strikes on the inside, coming up this way, hitting him with knees, and then elbows. He's just not very educated in the clinch. So what I would do if I'm John Jones, keep him on the outside, again, cautiously, and then work your way in, clinch him, get him against that cage, and go to work. Be John Jones and do what you do. The other point that I would stress is drag him into the 4th round. Thiago's never been more than 3 rounds. Drag him into the 4th round. And then I would say look to finish him maybe via TKO. Because the only thing about Thiago is sometimes in exchanges he could have a tendency to get a little wild as well, and start throwing looping shots. I would just sort of drag the fight on if I'm Jones, picking him apart between the outside game and the inside clinch game, and just wearing him out. And then when it gets to that 4th round, if I'm Jones, Thiago has also been submitted. Most of his losses are by TKO. If I'm Jones, I'd look for the TKO, whether it's in the clinch or on the ground, take him to the ground and pound. Overall, guys, my prediction, I just kind of gave it away. I actually think that I could see Jones winning this fight by TKO. And I could see it maybe in the 4th or 5th round. I just think while Santos has a lot of the skills that I like, that clinch game really has me worried. And I just think it could be an Achilles heel for him. He could always catch John Jones, but now we're basically counting on lightning striking, and that's a very difficult thing to ask of anybody, especially given John Jones's long reach. You know what I mean? So, you know, guys, that's my take. I think it will be a very entertaining fight, especially at the beginning. I think Thiago will have spurts, you know, where he'll show some things, and I think it'll get the crowd excited. But overall, I just think John is going to methodically and slowly pick him apart.